Hi, I'm Larry Gomberg, Trustee of the Village of Morton Grove, and I'm going to recap tonight's meeting of September 12th, 2011, the Village Board meeting. We had the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of August 8th this evening. After that, we had the special reports. We had a report from the Morton Grove American Legion Post regarding Thanksgiving Day, a Navy Day event where the Navy recruits will be bussed into the Legion, and volunteers are needed to serve those recruits. They'll be served lunch, and I believe they'll also have phones at their disposal, computers at their disposal, and entertainment. We'll have entertainment that day, and it's going to be a very nice day for these recruits. And I participated last year, and if I'm not mistaken, when the recruits are bussed into the Legion, they have no idea where they're going. They're really surprised when they get to the Legion Hall and they see who's waiting for them, and they're served all afternoon, and it's a great event, and we encourage participation on Thanksgiving Day. So that was mentioned as part of the special report. No public hearings this evening. Resident comments. We had Mr. Bill Harmon, who stepped up and he supported one of the, lent his support to one of the resolutions, or I believe one of the ordinances that we had up on first read this evening. Then we had the President's report. President Stackman read a proclamation talking about Constitution Week, which will be September 17th through the 23rd in the village. And he also sought concurrence on a commission board appointment, Richard Block, to the Appearance Commission. And that was, I personally recommended, I recommended Mr. Block, and it was seconded, and at the time that was passed. So welcome Richard Block to the Appearance Commission. And while we're talking about commissions, I just want to say sorry to hear about the death of Marty Kite. Marty Kite was on our cable commission for a while, and he was a real contributor to that commission, and his participation on that commission and in the village will be missed. And my condolences, or our condolences, go out to his wife Barbara and the family on the passing of Marty Kite. Clerk's report. Marilyn Snyder sat in for Tony Kaligarakis, who is still recuperating. But we had heard tonight that Tony intends, he told me via email that he hopes to be back next meeting, so we hope to see him and wish him a speedy recovery. Marilyn talked about the need to have people volunteer to be on our Finance Advisory Commission. I believe we only have a couple of members there, and we need people with hopefully with a background in finance, but we need people to contribute their time and their expertise there, and get your resumes into the mayor for the Finance Advisory Commission. Reports by trustees. There was no staff reports by the village administrator or the corporation council, but reports by trustees. Trustee DeMaria mentioned the 9/11 commemoration yesterday, 9/11, and thanked everybody for participating in that. And it was a very solemn but very well done event. And we all participated to some degree, and Trustee DeMaria wanted to mention that it was what a well done effort on behalf of everybody involved. I did not have a report, but Trustee Greer did. No formal report, but did mention the pet adoption event sponsored by the Community Development Commission. Pet adoption event on September 25th from 11 to 2 in Washington Commons, and everyone's invited to attend. Trustee Marcus had no formal, well, he did have a formal report, but he also mentioned, or I should say this was part of Trustee Greer's report, not Trustee Marcus. The October 22nd Health and Fitness Expo, and also the St. Martha's Oktoberfest on October 1st from 4 to 10 p.m. That was mentioned by Trustee Greer. Trustee Marcus had quite a lengthy report. I'll mention that 5 of the resolutions, 5 of the 8 resolutions that he had were passed. I'll run through real quick. One authorizing an execution of professional services agreement with Ciorba Group for some construction engineering services. Another one authorizing approval of a bid award and execution of a contract with Boulder Construction for Church Street Metro Crossing work. A resolution authorizing a approval of a bid award and execution of a contract with Boulder Construction for a North Station feeder main relocation project, and a resolution authorizing the purchase of 4,500 tons of road salt that we will need for the upcoming winter season, which hopefully will not be too brutal on us. The other resolution passed was the one authorizing the execution of a professional services agreement with Automation Engineering. This is for a water distribution, supervisory control, and data acquisition system. The 3 first reads under Trustee Marcus's report. One entitled Streets and Alleys Designated as One Way. An alley will be designated as one way. That was one first read. It was also suggested that our Public Works Department look into mirrors and speed bumps in that alley, and that will be looked into. An ordinance entitled No Parking Streets, and it would amend Title 5, Chapter 13, Article F, Section 2, entitled No Parking During Certain Hours of the Municipal Code, and that's first read, as well as an ordinance amending Title 5, Chapter 13, Article F, Section 1, entitled No Parking Streets, and Title 5, Chapter 13, Article F, Section 3, entitled Time Limit Parking Zones of the Municipal Code. Those 3 were first reads. Trustee Thill had no formal report. He did bring up, he wanted something clarified regarding Lincoln Avenue and the improvements that were made there. A resident had brought up to him that they had concerns, and Trustee Thill brought it up, and our Public Works, Andy DeMonte, our Public Works person, answered the questions for Trustee Thill and hopefully for the resident as well. Trustee Toth, had one ordinance to present, and that was the one, the second read of the amusement tax ordinance, which would establish Title I, Chapter 17, entitled Amusement Tax in the village. Trustee Thill offered an amendment to include all businesses in Morton Grove. That amendment was defeated, and the main ordinance was then passed. The only other thing, let's see, we had presentation of warrants. 2 warrant registers were approved, and after various questions from Trustee Thill regarding both registers. Resident comments, just a couple of residents, one about ComEd and trying to get our help dealing with ComEd, and we will get him that help. And another, Janice Cha from the Community Relations Commission, talking about the 7 wonders of Morton Grove. Make sure you get your nominations in before September 30th. So that was hopefully a brief recap of the meeting today. And if you want to see it in its entirety, you can turn to Channel 6, and we always encourage people to go to our website, mortongrovil.org, for not only this presentation and presentations before and after it, but other very interesting things as well. Don't forget to attend our next Village Board meeting, which will be held on September 26th. Please be there. So thank you very much for viewing this, and take care.